welcome back to the TPD YouTube channel. So today we have a relic, I suppose. I actually built this car around 9 years ago when I worked for Convert Motorsport. Shout out to Brendan Dunker, you know who he is. The customer Matt had two Type R's at the same time. He had a DC2, which we'll get in at some stage for you guys to have a look at that I swapped. And this one was always going to be the big boy, or actually the car's name's Amy, if you know you know. This was always going to be the dream build for the customer, and something that he allowed us to do a lot of development in over the years. So the basics of it is actually a JDM Integra Type R facelift, even though it does have pre-facelift taillights, with a little K24 in it. So the engine is high compression, Wiseco pistons, Eagle rods. It's been hand ported and matched by us, or by me back in the day, and it is really just a kind of like a prototype, or not a prototype, more of just like a development engine. So it has BC camshafts. It has, I'm trying to remember, I think they were Buddy Club headers. It's been a while since I built the car. So Buddy Club headers, Skunk 2, Mega Power exhaust, custom intake, just a radiator and that type of thing. But the car's actually undergone a lot of work throughout the years, and I just thought you guys might want to take a look at it. It's been running strong for almost a decade. We recently just put a Haltech in it too for the customer. I'll show you guys the dyno sheet. So this little K24 package this is what we would call like a club spec engine. Now that we did a lot of development on this one, so this is one that we sell to customers. It makes 230 kilowatt at the engine and 321 newton meters, so that's 195 kilowatt at the wheels and 272 wheel newton meters. And as you can see, it's from 4.5 it starts picking up in torque wise, and it just makes a massive amount of power all the way to redline. It's still making power at 8,000. We don't generally tend to rev these things over 8,250 on a factory crank, but it just goes to show you what you can actually make out of effectively a Honda Odyssey block. It does have a motorsport fuel system in it. So it has an Aeroflow 325 litre per hour pump in the tank, and then it has a custom made surge system with the old trusty 044 external, all PTFE lines and Aeroflow fittings in the back here. It does have some sort of like entry level coilovers, nothing special. I think they were Dynamas off the top of my head, so just a very, very basic coilover with custom spring rates. It has S13 tie rod ends. It's got a few other little tricky things that we've done in the suspension to make it kind of behave nicely, because DC5s inherently are pretty average on the racetrack. It does have a big wang. As you can see too, the car's quite compliant. It's quite soft and squishy, which is what you want, stop the car from skipping around. Sparco Evo 2 seats, OMP harnesses, and it actually still runs pretty much a factory interior, as well as just a half cage that was originally built by Brendan at Convert Motorsport back in the day. Engine wise, we'll come back around the front. Apart from the obvious parts that I talked about inside the engine, it's running just an oil cooler kit, an RBC manifold off a Honda Accord. These are really the jam from back in the day. They make all the power in the world, and you don't really have to do anything with them. It runs a 3-inch throttle body and just a 3.5-inch intake pipe with a front cold air scoop from the factory position, AN fuel lines, and a little catch tank. This thing has been so reliable for the customer, and yeah, it's just one of those things. I thought maybe you want to see some of like the older builds that we've done and that type of thing. We will get some videos throughout summer of this thing on the racetrack. We got it in today because the customer's decided he wants to upgrade the wheels. So we're pulling off the old C28s and we're putting on some Wed Sports supplied by Mica Pro Sport, as well as some Yokohama 8008Rs. So we're going from pretty much an original fitment style wheel, so 17 by 7 at 42 offset with a 25mm spacer to make it kind of, and then increase the track width a little bit. We're actually going to a 17 by 8.5 at 30p. So it's a much better sort of tyre combo for this car, and it is also on a 225 instead of a 215 now, which will make the car drive a lot better. This car at Pukekohe has done consistently with sort of 1-minute 14s, so it would be really nice if we could try and, you know, get the car a new PB before the track closes. So that's why it's coming in for a few little tweaks and a service.